Hey guys, welcome back to the Midnight List. We are going to be covering the C8 today in episode 7, and then episode 8 is going to be the C7. So just a little bit reverse there, but I've just been excited about this car, and I thought we would take off and run that. So I've been running a couple laps with it, trying to get a good grasp of how the car feels, and it's not a bad car. It's actually better initially when you first have the suspension set up. I'm trying to set this up here too, where it's giving us a list. I don't know that it's going to be really that useful because it kind of seems like it's blocking out the screen and not really giving us a whole lot of useful information. But we'll try and see what happens here. This car seems like it's going to be on the top of the list as we see it right now. So we'll kind of see where that ends up. It does look like it kind of drinks fuel more than the rest that we've tested so far, other than the electrics. But let's see where we're at. And I'm going to show you a quick layout of the settings as I have them right now. The car has a tendency to push on the corner entry, and then when you come out of it, it was whipping around real bad, so it was really hard to control. But I added some downforce to it. I lowered it, softened the. I didn't soften the back end as much, but I stiffened the front end to try to compensate and make the back end feel softer without losing too much rigidity. But let's go ahead and see what kind of laps this thing can put down. So I actually had the opportunity to drive one of these in real life, which was pretty cool. One of the things I think they could have done with this car, which would have made it pretty... I'm trying to drive this track at midnight all the time. I didn't select the time frame here, right? But we'll let it slide. It just threw me off with the daylight. But one of the things that, like when you're selecting the driving mode in this car, the dash changes. And I think what they could have done with this to make it more true to form is when you change the fuel maps, they could have change the dash layout. This is like the track mode layout when you're driving the car, so they did pick that well. Some of the other layouts are more analog with the traditional, round dials and needles. Throwing me off hardcore with the daylight. Even the heads-up display changes on the different modes in this car. And our display timed out, so I don't think I'll really use that in its current form yet. I might try to see if I can transfer the data into a Kindle, because those will stay lit up longer and it might be even easier to read. See, there's pushing still. So we haven't gotten a clean lap yet, which is not great, because we only get 2 laps under full speed. One of the other things I've learned in driving this car, it's got, the mirror has like a traditional, mirror based on reflection, and then it's also got a if you flip it down like you typically did with when a car had, oh good lord, it is snappy. If you flip it down like when somebody hit you with the high beams, it actually uses a camera mounted on the roof of the car and displays it up there instead. And I thought that would be something that I would prefer, but something about the display when you're, and a lot of these cars have that, like the Tomahawk has that layout where it's all monitors instead of mirrors. Same with that Suzuki VGT. But what I found is it actually makes you kind of nauseous. You don't notice it in the game because the whole thing is a monitor. And the car's better in the game than it is in real life in terms of, I mean, we're doing 230. Oh God, oh God. We're not getting a clean lap today. That sucks. We might have to revisit this car. But we're, you know, this car will hit 230. You're not doing that in real life. So the skill set that it takes to, you know, take this car to its limits is way beyond me. So I've kind of found that I don't enjoy it just because the car is so skilled beyond me. Whereas if you take a slower car, you feel more like a superstar driving it. With my wheel setup, I still get some of the twitchiness. Not as bad as the Tomahawk, but that's what killed us on the straight there. The car just starts, the wheel starts shaking on you. You can see you'll get, you know, maybe a little over 3 laps. So you're pitting at 3 laps on this car. We got a 155. I got a 152 in testing, so I might go ahead and test this a little bit more. So if you want to ride along, I'll do that real quick. I'm just going to do a 2-lap race, set it up at midnight the way it's supposed to, and do the same run, and we'll get a better lap time for sure, because I clipped the wall, spun the car, all kinds of issues. I like to have this set up before I start off. But we'll get this going easy enough. There we go. It is definitely faster than the cars we've been testing. And it's running an 8-speed transmission, so my Fanatec shifter does not go that far out. But heads-up display gives it a hardcore, like, crosshair feel. So although this is the first Vette with the engine behind the driver, they've been considered mid-engine for the past couple generations. I know the C6 was considered mid-engine. I'm not 100% sure if the C5 was. I don't believe it was. But it's one of the few mid-engine, like rear mid-engine cars I've actually had the pleasure of driving. I got to drive a rear-engine air-cooled Porsche at one point. Just an NA car, no turbo or anything. It felt really good. It wasn't fast, but you know, it was really, really agile. I have a feeling closer to stock, this car would be a good candidate for the Tokyo 600 also. There we go, much better. So yeah, when you reel it in a little bit and drive the car instead of just keeping it floored, you get a much better, much cleaner, much faster lap. We'll go ahead and add that to the list. I'm gonna get working on setting up the C7 in stock form, and we'll get that one added to the list as well. I am adding these results to the description as well, so you can still see at least where they fit in the lineup. The information I'm putting into the spreadsheet is containing the performance points and the tire wear and that sort of thing as well. Whereas this car, you know, you're going to get like 3 laps out of it, and you're going to get, I didn't see the tire wear, but I'll see how that is. But anyway, I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. We're going to try to keep this going all through the entire lineup of the vehicles in the game, and we'll kind of see where everything ends up. But we'll be back soon with the C7, and until then, have a good night.